This is me getting ready to go into the office on a Saturday after a week of over 12-hour workdays. You might be wondering how I got here, but since I've been stacking up issues and decisions I haven't dealt with in months now in work and in medicine, I've decided to go back in and sort out the strategy for my own life for a change. Basically what's happening is that I am taking a strategy day for myself because I find, I don't know if this is like everyone else too, but I find it so easy to kind of consult other people and to go, okay, let's get all the information on you, let's do an action plan. I can really like objectively see what should be done and what is potentially not a great idea, elaborate on both, and we put a strategy together and a plan moving forward, and all that's left is execution. And it's so clear for me to have all the right questions and to kind of put things together. When it comes to myself, I am absolutely the worst at doing this, and I'm so bad at kind of, I don't know what the problem is, but it's kind of the same thing in real life, right? Where it's so easy to give other people advice and then it's so hard to take the exact same thing or to figure out the right advice for yourself. And yeah, so what I'm going to try to do today is treat myself like a client and figure out the strategy for my own stuff. In the meantime, look at her, she's almost dried. I just finished this painting recently and added a bit more details and a bit more shadows because I think the shadows were not strong enough. And look at her, she's almost dried now. It's so adorable. I meet up with Angus at the train station where we realise trains are actually cancelled for the day, so we end up taking an Uber in. We set ourselves up with tea and snacks and I make a start. I've been spending the last 3 weeks advising others on the content direction and business plans for their brands, and I've realised I almost never do the same thing for myself, so I'm trying to be my own advisor and brainstorm ideas for me. I spend hours coming up with things I'm interested in, what to learn and what to do, but I find it completely impossible to niche down at all or let go of topics I'm passionate about. After trying out all the brainstorming and categorizing exercises I know with absolutely no avail, I realised I'm working against my own advice of solving specific problems for specific people, and frustrated by my complete inability to make a choice or compromise, I decided to put my things on pause and rather focus on Jamie, who's having the same issues. His problem solving was much more effective, and feeling like we had a solid plan in place for him, we had a brief lunch break before me and Angus resumed my hot mess. I find it absolutely impossible to pick a single topic, productivity or learning or note-taking or emotions or growth or basically anything, as I'm equally and at different times interested in them all. Finally accepting I'm completely hopeless and potentially overthinking this, I decide to just post more rarely and focus on making videos I enjoy at the consequence of going against any sort of reasonable business advice. After Angus leaves, I spend more time planning out a video before heading out to meet a friend for dinner. He's a doctor and a medical artist I illustrated a textbook with a few years ago, and I feel I really needed his advice. I've been concerned with how much I've been enjoying work outside of medicine recently, and often caught myself imagining my time without going back to medical school at all. He begins adamant that I only make a decision about my career after I'm done with my degree, and gives me a strong reminder about how I used to be the most medicine-obsessed person he knew. We end the conversation, again, with no good answer or solution, and hating my indecisive self for the second time today, we end up rather discussing updates on life and his adorable baby and just enjoying the moment. I finally get physically home, even though mentally I'm still all over the place, and I decide to put my overanalyzed existential crisis to the side, sleep on it all, and ban myself from thinking anymore for the night. Let's see what happens. Bye!